on here. So how many of you have heard of Patchings Art Fair, or how many of you been here before? If you wouldn't mind just letting me know in the Q&A, that'd be great. And then what I'll do, I'm kind of making this up as I go along. There's not really a huge schedule, but what I thought I'd do, I'll give you a brief survey of the site, and then we'll go into the art festival, and you can take a look with me, and we can maybe go up to some artists. And okay, so Nina's heard of it, but never visited. Karen went many years ago. Let me turn the camera around the other way, and I will see if I can. So that's the entrance just there. And if we come around here, so this side the site, and very typically for an English food bar, we've got an ice cream van there, which looks lovely. Can't say it's hot enough right at the moment for ice cream, but I'm sure everybody is enjoying it. There's a lot of ice cream being eaten. I just wanted to show you over here as well, because this is quite an interesting feature. I spoke with Chaz, who's the owner of the plot, and this here is an art trail that he's built. Alison said, I've heard such a lot about it, never been. And Mary's heard people talk about it. Hope to go one time. So, and stay tuned for a bit later, because I'm going to tell you what we're going to be doing in September with Patchings. And it's going to be quite an interesting experiment, I guess is probably the best word for it. So this here I'm showing is the start of an art trail. And what it does is, so this person here, obviously Rembrandt, and it starts here with Rembrandt, and you can go into these little huts and you point it, Rembrandt will come up out of the fight hot. It's actually quite hot in there. It's a bit like a year. It's probably more appropriate. I won't take you on the whole trail, but you can see the trail literally just goes up, and it goes to different huts, and you've got Monet, and you've got lots of different artists on the way up. A really lovely thought. You can tell they're here at Patchings, you can tell that they're very passionate about art, and they've been doing it for 30 years, believe it or not, which is quite incredible. The ice cream van is catching on. I can see there's a growing queue there right now. So what I thought I'd do now is take you into the actual festival, and I'll show you around some of the marquees that are in the festival. If you've got any questions for me, just ask, and then I can put those through to anyone that we bump into. Hello. Okay, so here is the main festival ground, and they're all the marquees are sponsored by different art-related companies. So here we've got St. Cuthbert's Mill, and they've just had on Peter Cronin there a little earlier. I could see him. They had a packed audience doing an art demonstration, and said hello to him. If you haven't watched the Peter Cronin art demo that we did with him, it was really good fun, and because he released a new book all about sketching, and it was linked to that book. Questions come in. Got to put my reading specs on these days. Alison has said, I've got a friend doing it, Alison Board, a lovely professional artist. Well, Alison, if you can reach out to your friend, Alison Board, and if she can tell you which marquee she's in, then that could be a good little challenge for us today. We can try and find Alison Board and say hello, and you can have a virtual chat with her through me. Okay, so we had there St. Cuthbert's Mill. Here we have David Bellamy behind here somewhere. I don't know whether he's still there. Let's have a look. Oh, it's his wife, Jenny, there at the moment. David's probably gone on a wander, but we'll say if we can find David a bit later and say hello. I can see Matthew Palmer up here as well. He's having a chat with somebody. So Search Press, they're having a sketching demo at the moment in their marquee. You can just about see, I wonder if I can just zoom in. So they're having a demo at the moment. We'll walk along here. Say hello to Matthew Palmer. Here he is.
Hello, how are we doing?
Very well, thank you. How's everything going at the event?
Good. Enjoying the nice atmosphere back at Patchings. This is Alison.
Hello, Alison.
Ali,
hello. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to be back in the atmosphere of Patchings. And the weather is not too hot, which is a bonus.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be like really hot, but it's perfect.
It was really sunny though, like about half an hour ago. And then
You know, if you come with us, you can see a live workshop going on.
Really?
yes,
Oh,
yeah,
should we go? Should we go and have a look? Okay, let's do that.
I thought you were going to carry on.
Sorry.
This is our live workshop. This
Hello.
is Denise Allen
Hello,
and
Denise.
all her students.
There we go.
This is Patchings' official video.
Well, it's not actually. It's Shopkeep Party. But we're doing a little
thing.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Great name.
Do you like that? Do you like that? Yeah. Well, check us out. We do a lot of live demos, and we're doing something very special with Patchings in September as well.
Oh, fantastic.
So, oh yes, very nice.
So
Lovely.
they've done brilliantly.
Brilliant.
Thank you for that.
No problem. I'll find out where everybody's tuning in from actually in a minute. Me a question on the Q&A. I'll catch up with you a bit later, Matthew.
Cheers, Charles.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Okay, so Alison has said, I think she's possibly with the Artist Demo Day or SAA. I will see whether we can find Alison Board. Then let's try and do that. And as we walk around the site, let's have a look around here. So we've got some Winsor and Newton free demos here.
That's that one in the corner. And then just to show you this technique, sort of the size of the line. So if I want to draw this, you see that now?
We'll head over this way. So in this marquee, we've got various artists that are displaying their artwork for sale. So we'll go in here and have a look. So this is Peter Woolley. Give you a quick tour of these places, and then once we've been round all the tents, then if anybody wants me to go and explore something in a little bit more depth, there's always so much to see at these things. Gwen Scott. They look fun. Hello. Cesar Lewis. Hello. Is this your work?
This is my work. With a stencil.
Oh, like a stencil. Okay.
Yeah, with the scalpel by hand, and then I add.
That's really interesting. So they're actually fabrics behind the stencil.
Yeah.
Let me try and just show people. So I've got a few people tuning in on this one.
Okay.
So I'll just show There we go. Hopefully you can see that.
Yeah, and
The
then
fabrics
here you
behind.
can see it here because some of the texture in the roof is particular.
Oh yes.
There you go.
Very good. That's really very innovative. It didn't seem like that initially when, from a
No,
distance,
That's
but
right.
then yeah, they look, and they're really vibrant, aren't they, because of the fabric?
And that's the choice of colours, obviously, that you choose. And then this one is a scene of a town in France, Bordeaux, particularly.
Okay.
That street with all the different little Assayan balconies.
And do you have to plan it all out before you?
Yes.
Yeah, because to do.
Well, actually, I don't. I kind of I've started with the middle one,
Yeah.
and then I built up the side one, and then the side one, and then the outside one, and then
Okay.
till I got to the design that I liked. And then I carried on layering the textile, the fabrics afterwards.
Now you don't do all this in one piece, though. You
Yes, I do.
don't. You do. Wow. And what happens if you accidentally
How are you?
cut it off?
You
Okay.
you get used to that.
So this is in one sheet of. Do you just use normal black paper
Card.
card?
Yeah.
And you do it in one sheet, and then you cut the stencil, and then you're layering underneath. And do you sort of turn it upside down and then stick the fabric
Yeah,
in the
in
different areas?
ways at the back.
It's a great way of doing it. I like
In
it.
different ways. Some of this, that's on top, that's underneath, and then you kind of keep turning it over until you get, and then right at the end you get your scissors, and then you sort of cut more.
Brilliant.
Ad hoc.
That's really good. Well, I run a platform called Shopkeep Arty, and we host artists from around the world. And it'd be great if we could host you to do a little demo. Would you be willing to do
I
something?
don't do demonstrations
Ah, okay. What's that?
because my style is so unique that
Ah, okay. You want to keep that more to
For now.
yourself. I've
For
got
now.
it. I've got it. Okay.
now.
No problem. No problem.
I mean, saying that, it's like, if anybody can pick up a scalpel and a piece of card and add fabric
Yes.
to it.
Yeah.
It depends on your taste, it depends on your drawing abilities, it depends on your choice of fabric. So
Yes.
everybody can follow a technique and do their own thing anyway. But it's kind of, you get your practice as you practice.
Yes.
You get better the more you do. It's not something that you can teach. Kids do it. They cut out the stencil and put colored paper behind
Yeah.
it. That's effectively level up from that.
Yes. No,
Except
I've got
I
it.
use textile. People use paper,
Yes.
colored paper, tissue paper, all that.
I've got you. Well, it would be lovely to. Can I take a card? Because maybe we can just have a chat about your work rather than you doing a demo.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. Oh, thank you, Zaza.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Now, hopefully, people are still with me. I had a bit of a technical thing at the start when I first walked into this marquee. So, what did people think about Zaza there? Do you think that would be interesting to have a very different, working with stencils and fabrics, but do you think that would be interesting to have a live conversation with Zaza? If you can let me know on the Q&A, that'd be great. Hello, Lava. How are you? And it was Tim Fisher that I passed earlier, and
Thought that I saw
know,
that
and we
glint of
said
art
hello.
recognition. I was the same.
I know.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. Very well. I'm just doing a little live stream at the moment, and I can see that you're working with a little bit of
These are chalk pastels.
chalk pastel. Okay.
Some LEA extra soft. I'm doing this painting of Clymel in Norfolk. I
Lovely.
don't know if you're familiar with the area.
I do know Norfolk reasonably well. I've been there a few times, bit of camping.
Yes. It's a nice part of the world.
It is lovely.
Painter's paradise.
It's got a certain terrain, unlike a lot of places. It's kind of flat and marshy and
Yeah, that's right.
beautiful.
I mean, there's very few hills in Norfolk.
So what's that you're using there?
This is a clutch pencil. These are made by Watercolours,
Yeah.
and I keep a pastel chalk in the end, which has got a couple of sharp points on. And then this is really good if I need to add any detail. You can get in.
And Tim was one of the artists that we hosted in the very early days, and we did some great workshops and short classes with him. And I'd highly recommend going and checking it out on our video library. There was one he did, which was a short class, and it was all about watercolour pencils, which we all have watercolour pencils in our repertoire, but probably haven't used them very much. But Tim really goes to town, even using a little sharpener or razor blade to scrape off and use some of the dust from the watercolour pencils. So fantastic techniques. Highly recommend you go and check that out.
Oh yeah, we've got all those. Where's she gone? Oh, Louise, would you like to chat to this lady about these clutch pencils?
Touch pencil.
So, are you doing? You're doing a demonstration here, aren't you? Is it later on in the?
I'm doing one tomorrow for Search Press.
Okay.
And then on Sunday, I'm doing it for the Artist and Leisure Painter.
Okay.
I've got 5 demonstrations to do. That.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Where I'll be showing all the benefits of using Dale Rowney materials.
Right. Okay.
It should be an exciting day. I've been preparing for it for months.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, good luck on that. And did you say you had a commission or something you've been doing recently?
I'm working on that at the moment. It's quite a large hotel chain.
Right.
I did a commission for them a number of years ago, probably about 8 years ago. And they liked it so much they've recommissioned me to do another series of paintings.
Wow.
So it's
So they kind of spread them around the different hotels then?
well, at the moment they're all in one hotel,
Right.
but the hotel is part of a much larger chain. I'm
Okay.
hoping that that will spread to
mushroom
other
out.
ones. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's really good.
Um,
Yeah, I guess if you can get a client like that, that's got multiple sites. And are you focusing on things that are around the hotels to paint, or are you
well,
as a subject?
you generally have an artist-to-client meeting and sit down and discuss ideas and throw ideas around.
Yeah.
And we'll usually come up with some sort of solution, which I can then turn into paintings.
Brilliant.
But it's probably one of the most stressful parts of the painting process because you've got to try and get inside the head of your client.
Yeah.
So it's not an easy thing to do.
No.
But I mean, my hope was that I would be preparing these Patchings because they're large, very large paintings.
Yeah.
But I've only got as far as the sketch proposal stage at the moment, so
Okay.
that's going to be a job for the autumn.
Right. Gosh. God, you're keeping yourself busy at least.
Incredibly busy. Yeah, I thought with lockdown and COVID,
Yeah.
I'd be twiddling my thumbs, but I am incredibly busy.
Gosh.
Excuse me.
Wasp just now. Now, interesting fact, everybody. Is it Fisher 100 paper?
400.
Fisher 400 paper that pastelists use. It was designed by Tim Fisher. There you go.
Yeah.
Interesting
Yeah,
factoid.
my claim to fame.
I'll leave you to it.
Okay.
Lovely meeting you,
Nice
Tim.
meeting you.
Take care. Bye. Right. Now we come through to the art materials section. Always very fascinating, and for the nosy side, if you're a material hoarder, this is second heaven.
We make the watercolors in Wolf.
Now this is Two Rivers paper, which I Now, I'd heard quite a bit about Two Rivers, and the reason I think I reached out to you was an artist we've hosted a few times called Jane Bettridge, and I think she spoke really highly of your paper. And you make it all in your own mill, don't you? Or is that right?
Yeah. 30 years ago, my wife and I bought, it was a ruined mill actually, the cottage was all right, but the mill attached was derelict. And we turned it into a small paper mill, and we've been making paper by hand there since 1987.
Since 1987, wow.
But, and there's a but. I'm getting on, and I'm not going to be making paper for very much longer. I think the mill went, my wife and I had to sell the mill, and the business would go, because no one's going to buy the property for making paper. So 6 years ago, we began negotiating to be involved in the art centre at Watford, a brand new art centre, art centre. And the architect built into it an area for us to make paper. So the actual paper is now being formed at East Quay, which is 4 miles away from the old pit mill. I have 2 young paper makers. One was an apprentice and has gone through the apprenticeship, and the other is apprentice coming at the moment. And 2 other people who work for me. And they're based at East Quay. I'm based at East Quay, but I make all the pulp, the cotton, and the linen. Still, at the road we have water power and bring that in bins already.
Right.
But the idea, I mean, as long as the mill is available, then we'll use it for the business. But clearly, you can't have a water mill on the old dockside. So,
No, okay. So things are changing a little bit. Things are changing. Yeah.
But the paper's exactly the same.
Yeah.
The quality and the makeup and everything.
Yeah.
And in actual fact, it's a much more sterile environment, so it's easier to keep paper clean, and it's easier to see what's going on. It's easier to set up a better workflow, a more efficient workflow than working on 3 floors on your own mill. However quaint and bucolic. So there we are. That's it at the moment, and we are so busy. I can't tell you.
I think you were so busy because I think that's why we ended up postponing the conversation whenever it was. It was over a year ago. I can't remember exactly when it was, but yeah, I think you've just been incredibly busy, haven't you?
Yeah, and it's not, as I say, until the move is complete, hydraulic presses between its being serviced. That will go in the next few weeks. That will speed things up in the new premises. Yeah. But we're open to the public, so which we weren't. Well, we were. People could come and find us, but we were in the middle of nowhere. So so it takes some time for to find us. But where we are now, we've got people coming in, so we might as well have counter. Sell direct, which we wasn't a very significant part of the business before. So that sort of thing as well. Much more direct customer facing. So yeah, it's been a very, very busy year, and it's not finished yet. We started with the move in September, and I'm hoping it'll be all tickety-boo by September, but it's coming on fast. Yeah. And a fortnight ago, I didn't have any stock to bring here. I couldn't see how. I was seriously thinking about it. So
I have to pull out. Oh God.
And there's more coming up on Friday because of the paper that's being made this week. Kieran, the paper maker, will bring stock up on Friday night. So sadly, it's only over a bit more here. But yeah, it's.
Well, it's nice. It's nice that we still have these handmade crafts of doing these sort of things. I think in the world.
I don't buy into the. I don't buy into all this sort of traditional craft thing. It's a business. We make by hand, and because we make by hand, we can make it differently. We can make the paper do different things. I mean, there's not a lot to. There's not a lot to choose between some cuts. There's animal here. But ours is distinct. I'm not saying it's better. It's different. It has to be different for people to come back and buy again.
But of all the, when we host, I mean, we've hosted over 100 professional artists around the world, and one of the things they continually say is, I think out of all the things, mediums, skill, paper is really important. So if you find the right paper, it can make a big difference with your art.
Well, all these pieces on the wall here,
Yeah.
they're all done on basically the same paper.
Yeah.
But this is soil paint behind me, the woodland scene. That's actually a picture of me hanging up that side.
Yeah.
Litho print up there.
Yeah.
Letterpress printing, traditional watercolor. This is mixed media. It's just about everything.
Yes. Yeah. That was interesting. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Now, giving you a kind of rough tour of the site, is there anywhere that you'd like me to go? Anywhere you'd like me to explore? There's a number of other tents, but I'm conscious that I don't want to just keep on walking everywhere. So do let me know, is there any particular artist or marquee? The only thing, unfortunately, I can't magic up is a coffee or tea or fresh scones for you. So, but apart from that, okay, so Alison said maybe Search Press.
Now,
Let's see if I can.
pick a one at the end there. Stick a finger on the end there. Stick a couple of these on there. Simple. Now, so indeed, those come. Wherever it is.
Okay, so Alison wants me to go to Search Press, so let's go to Search Press and we will see what we can find. Carl, hello Carl, welcome. Have you come across anyone making their own watercolors? Now that's a question. Okay, I will ask someone to see whether that is the case. Oh, the sun's coming out, brilliant. Okay, I think the Search Press is this way. Now, I said I had an announcement, and that announcement, I guess now is probably as good a time as any, as we approach the Search Press marquee. So I've been in conversation with Search Press and also with the owners of the site here, and it looks like what we're going to do in September of this year, Search Press are co-sponsoring a publishing, it's a publishing event. So all the artists that they've published for their books and things like that, they're going to be doing a specialist event here, and we're going to do some sort of collaborative thing. So they're going to be doing art demos, and we may do a couple of weekends where we'll have a number of different artists doing the demonstrations. But what we'll do is, if you're in the US, Carl, and you want to join in those demos, you can join in with the people that are here live on the site, and we're going to do a sort of a live and virtual demo day. But then you'll be able to purchase art from the artists. You'll be able to we haven't quite mapped it all out yet, but it's going to be some sort of collaborative thing with Patchings and Search Press, which is a very large art publishers, and should be super fun. So I'm really looking forward to that. So you're the first to hear about this this plan. You know me, always coming up with other crazy things to do. So, but it should be really good fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. We've got to still have some conversations in September, so watch this space. Now let's turn you around and we will head over to the Search Press tent and have a look what's going on there. And it looks like they're in between. Now, this is David. Hello, David.
Hello, how are you?
Just going to switch that round there and then bring that round. So David is a director of Search Press, and just thought we'd come into the marquee, have a little look around and see what... Oh, just daughter, no, that's okay. And so you've got all your books lined up here. You've got demos as well. And I've mentioned the fact that we may be doing something in September. We are doing something.
Pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah.
No, we love this. This is a kind of showpiece for everything that we do. We bring all of our art titles. We bring some general craft, because this show has much appeal to different people with lots of different ideas and passions. So what's great for us is to actually meet the people that buy our books, and we also get ideas for books.
New things,
For example, a couple of years ago, a couple of people were asking about brusher. Very little on brusher. There'll be a brusher that's coming out in the next 18 months or whatever. So
that's
it's
good.
our way of actually, most of the time we talk to retailers. This is where we're actually talking to people that are parting with the money. So we love it.
Yeah. Now, tell me, I don't know whether you know the stats on this, but how many books have you currently got in your library?
My boss tells me far too many, but we've got a warehouse of something like literally about over a million physical books. But we distribute in wholesale as well. So we've probably got about 5,000 titles in total.
Okay.
That goes from everything from knitting and crocheting through to quilting. So we are the leading publisher of practical and inspirational art titles, and we've been doing it a jolly long time. So
that's amazing, isn't it?
50-year-old.
Does that include the US as well?
Well, we have a distribution arrangement with Penguin Random House in North America, who are the biggest. North America is a very important market for us.
Yes.
It's about 40% of what we do.
Right.
We've been doing this a long time. It's a family-owned business. It's 50 years old. We're very, very different. We're not a corporate company at all. We're not hierarchical. We listen to each other, and more importantly, we listen to our customers as well. So it's a lovely business.
Yeah, no, that's nice. And what would you say? So you do all your books; they cover such a wide variety of different mediums. And what would you say is the most popular? Watercolor.
It's watercolor, and it's watercolor flowers, it's landscapes. Over there, half of that display area is watercolor books.
Right. Okay.
And we innovate with how we produce the books as well, because quite a lot of them, some have watercolor paper in there already with the tracing. Because lots of people, as you know, go, I want to paint, but I can't draw.
Yeah.
So we have the sketching on the watercolor paper.
Yeah.
We also have.
So Carl's purchased Search Press books in the US. Very good.
That's pretty cool. Thank you, Carl.
And Alison says she thinks you publish her friends, but Alison Board.
Yeah, indeed. Alison is in the the marquee next door to us.
Ah, there we go. We found out where she is now, Alison. So we'll go and check her out. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time. I'm really looking forward to this September as well. We'll keep you tuned as to what that is.
Indeed. We're very excited about it. Yeah, once we've worked it out.
Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. Catch up with you later. Bye, David. Okay, so the tent next door. Let's go and it's excited, but like a treasure hunt. Alison Board. Okay, let's. No, I don't think it's this one, is it? Because that looks pretty. Must be in the next one. So Thursday, there we go. 12:30. Ali Board. So what's the time now? Oh, that was quite some time ago. So I think she's probably done a disappearing act. These are all the different artists that they have on over the course of the next few days. I think we might have missed her. You can message her, Alison, and say that you missed her by an hour and a half. That would have been good if I'd have been able to bump into her. Right. Well, anything else that you'd like me to go and take a look at while I'm here? The ominous cloud above is was really sunny a moment ago, but it does seem to be looking a little bit touch and go for rain, but hopefully it'll hang off. Or any art materials or art companies. Now, Carl, you had a question about manufacturing watercolor. So let's see if we can find something in that category. So Peter Cronin, I can bump into him, that'd be good. Now, Alison, while we're on the subject of your Alison, if there's any opportunity where we can get your Alison to feature on our channel, if you'd like, if she's a friend of yours, then please reach out to her on our behalf, and we're happy to have a conversation and see whether we can host her on our channel. So that'd be lovely. Unison Colour. Now, we did a couple of good demos with Unison Colour. Hello. So this is Unison Colour, and we've done a number of workshops. You sponsored one of them actually with Robert Dutton that we did.
We did indeed.
And we've got a great array of colours. We do lots of different.
380 different colours.
380. Incredible.
All handmade.
Yeah.
Totally handmade up in the wonderful wilds of
I've seen
North
some
Northumberland.
videos. I've seen some videos. Yeah.
We still use John Hurst's original recipes, which were created over 40 years ago.
Wow.
And they're just the most buttery, beautiful pastels. He created the most amazing colours because he was inspired by the Northumbrian light. And when he worked on the colour sets, he would work maybe from the more vibrant shade and work outwards. And this is why we're called Unison Colour, because the colours, they all work in unison with each other. So, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is why we are Unison Colour. Quite unique today that we're handmade in the UK. And there's only about 30 of us on a good day in total.
Wow.
Got 5 people who actually make the pastels totally from hand, scratched by hand, hand rolling them. So this is why you don't get the churned out consistency of the pastels. You might get some are fatter, some are thinner. We do have quality control, but it depends. But they are just, and they lay down and you can layer them. They're such a versatile
Now, we had a question earlier on from somebody, from Carl, who said, you know, how do you make watercolor? And it was his argument, but the pigment and the thing, where does it all come? Is it particular crystals or what?
No, we try and use the finest pigments as possible. We get them in the UK, but they come from our sort of natural earth colours. We get some colours from India.
And like everybody else at the moment, pigment is getting colored. It's like trying to get the rarest mineral.
Yeah.
So we will not compromise on our standards and buy in cheaper pigments. We have a quality of a product which we've had for 40 years, and we have that consistency. What we like is someone who maybe buys the blue-green pastel, blue-green 15, 10 years ago. That will be the same if they buy that now.
Right.
So
you've kept that consistency.
Yeah, because every batch of pastel that's made is drawn out, not every single, but the batches. So, and we've got the master pastels, so they have to match up with that. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I'll
So
just
there
do a
you
little pan over all the colours. No, that was lovely. Thank you so much. It's incredible how many, when you see all the
I know some, because we've been selling from here, so
Yeah.
there are some
gaps.
we need to top up later.
Yeah. Do you, when you get the pigment, are you kind of blending it with other particular magic, secret ingredients?
It's just basic. But some of these pastels here, you think, so there could be up to 7 different colour pigments in that. It's a recipe. So they're weighed out, they're meticulously weighed out in each recipe. Everybody owns what they've made. So, you know, at the end of the day, Sue has made 2,000, whatever, and that's the colour. So if there's any kickback, or else Sue gets it.
Well, that's good. That's good for accountability, I think.
No, it's accountability.
Yeah.
And we like to, we're nice, it's a gentle sort of a company, really. I mean, there's only, as I say, only a few of us. And
it's like that with a family company, isn't
well,
it?
we still are, yes.
Yeah.
Kate Hersey is still the matriarch of the company. The last John died a number of years ago. So yeah, they're lovely to work for.
Yeah.
I enjoy being part of it, and I use the pastels myself, obviously. And if the Cat, one of our associate artists, Cat, is just working on that artwork down there.
Right, we'll go and have a little look at that as well. Thank you very much for your time.
It's a pleasure.
Take care. Bye. Now, pro art. I think there was an artist who recommended that. Oh, where can we purchase that T-shirt? Okay, I'll go and ask. Sorry, I just had a question from Carl. Where can he purchase that T-shirt?
Oh, right. It's hot off the press, so they will be being launched when I get back. I'm just sporting the show model.
Brilliant. So it will be on the Unison website.
On the website it will indeed.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, thank you. Well modelled. Thank you. There we go. Carl. Eagle Eye Carl. You're going to have to buy one of those, I think. Yes, now pro art. I can't remember who. I think it might be Robert Dutton that swears by those. That seems a pretty good deal. Pure Sable reversible brushes, £15. Not a bad price. I quite like those reversible brushes from a plein air point of view. Right, here we go. Hello. I'm doing a little live stream with Shopkeep Arty, and we host artists all around the world. Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I tried to contact you a few times.
Have you? Oh, there
Yes.
you go.
Mark
Hello,
Jackman.
I'm John. Hello.
Mark Jackman,
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Yes, I've seen you online a few times.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Liz Chatterton.
Yes.
Spoke to her a few times. I do enjoy the video, really do.
Oh, brilliant. Well, thank you very much.
I knew I recognised your
keep
face. I was just like, I knew your face for some reason. Then as soon as you said Shopkeep Arty, I thought, I know.
Ah, there we go. There we go. So we had a question. So happy to have a conversation also offline. But a question about manufacturing watercolors and things like that. So is it all about sourcing pigment and then trying to blend? Because someone said, is there somebody here that manufactures or makes their own watercolors? Now, obviously, yeah, that's what I thought.
I physically do it myself.
You do it?
Yes,
right.
I do it. So it's all about the raw materials. It's in finer details. It's not just about the pigment. To me,
right.
So we use hand-picked Sudanese Kordofan gum Arabic.
Okay.
So I use the hand-picked selected for the sheer sake of I wanted the most transparent binder possible.
Right.
Because if you can have the best pigment, but if you haven't got the best binder, it doesn't shine through like the pigment should. So I then obviously put in distilled water, and this is kind of what it looks like when it comes out. So this is it's the bigger the bottle, the more it shows, but little bottles, you can see the transparency in it.
Oh yeah.
The label, you can see my finger straight through there.
Yeah.
I then mix in vegetable glycerin and a touch of preservative, and then the rest of it is pigment.
Right.
So you can see from the cadmium orange on the Bocking for Waterproof, the Bocking for block there, how bright and bold and vibrant you get the colours. Because if you're not putting extenders in there and you're not putting, powder gum Arabic has got all the rubbish that comes on the gum Arabic, like the hay and things like that, then you get that real bright, vibrant colour, and then a little really does go a long way. So that's kind of, I look at every single detail, even down to the tubes and down to the labels, everything.
Yeah.
Just because I want the best quality product I can provide.
So tell me your story. When did you start? What brought you to manufacturing watercolors?
My dad has been in the industry all his life, and I've kind of grew up around it. My dad, unfortunately, has got Parkinson's, and it was just kind of a thing where I kind of came to him one day and I thought it'd be a great father-son thing to kind of spend some time together and just get to know each other a bit better, and everything else is a bonus.
Yeah.
And he did warn me at the start. He says, you'll get obsessed with it when you start. And I said, no, I won't. I've just kind of, it'd be nice to kind of spend time with you. And after it's just an obsession now. As you can see, like we started with powdered gum Arabic and it was tap water and things like that. And I said to him, like, no, why can't we have a more transparent binder? Because surely the more transparent, the more the pigment shines through. And he went, all right then. So I started just studying every element. I've looked into the water, distillation, reverse osmosis, tap water, just to kind of say, like, why am I using distilled? I'm not just, I want to take everything out and make it as pure as possible. Again, why am I using vegetable glycerin? Again, I wanted to keep all animal products out of it if I possibly could, because what's the point? There's just no need in this day and age. That's why I tested it with honey and I tested it without, and I realised that if you use the correct portion of gum Arabic and glycerin, you'll get the vibrancy and luminosity you get from honey anyway. So, and
makes sense.
The less, the better, I find. Just 3 ingredients with a preservative and the pigment on top of it. That's all we need.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Well, that's brilliant. So how long has it all been? So your dad started the business?
I started it in November 2019. Okay. So my dad was with another company for all his life. Okay. And then obviously he retired due to his illness. And it was about 5-6 years after. I just kind of, I used to be an accountant and I've worked in fact, I never knew what I wanted to do when I came out of school. So I was just here, there and everywhere. So I've been in the warehouses, shaving sides of boxes and everything.
And whereabouts are you actually based?
Kegworth, so East Midlands Airport.
Okay.
So 40-minute drive, just early mornings for me every day.
Oh, well, that's brilliant. How's it all going?
Really, really well. Obviously, when we started 2019 in November, we kind of started, and then just starting to get the product out there, and then COVID hit. So I've got more of an online presence, and that's where I found you guys. And then I've been pestering Patchings ever since, saying, like, I need to get out there, and they're like, we will let you when we're here. So here I am.
Hey, brilliant.
I need to get in front of everybody and just talk and show what it's about, because online you can scroll past.
You can.
It's so easy because that's what we do.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get in front of everyone and just talk. And I mean, just watching people do different brush strokes and techniques, it's fascinating for me anyway.
Yeah.
And how they use the brush. So I've learned so much today.
Yeah.
Just someone holding the brush sideways and things like that, and just playing around with it. I thought I've always used it like that, but it's inspiring to me how they use the brushes and the techniques.
And just had a question: do you do pans as well as tubes?
Yeah, we've got half pans. They're just on the website. Now it's the same formula for pans and tubes. So if you bought a tube, put it in a pan, it'll set and re-wets instantly.
Well, what would be lovely? Have you got a card or something? And then maybe what we could do like a live webinar thing. You could kind of give us a little tour of your manufacturing thing or something like that. That'd be brilliant. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be really fun. Lovely meeting you.
Yes, lovely meeting you too.
Take care. Take care. Bye. Yeah, you too. So there we have it, Carl. We found someone who knew all about the manufacturing process of watercolour, and if we feature him on one of our shows, you can find out a little bit more. We can get a little bit more deep dive into that. And what a great company! I'm really fascinated about that. What's it called? Jackmans. It'd be really interesting to. I love people setting up and really passionate. You could tell he was really passionate about trying to get the purest form of watercolour. I don't know. It'd be nice to support him in some way in the future. I don't know. We'll see whether we can come up with something. It'd be really good. Some collaboration or something. Well, this is fun, isn't it? Let's have a little whiz round here again, or should we go through here? There's some artists through here. That's where we said hello to Tim Fisher earlier. Hello. Memorial exhibition. So we've got a few people watching this at the moment in different parts of the world, and I've just been giving them a little bit of a tour around, and yes, just fascinating. It really captures the life of the subject. Incredible. Just yeah.
We were imagining what she was saying, you know, the hand on the hip.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what she said.
Yeah. Told a story.
Told the story.
Yeah. No, that's lovely.
He was a brilliant teacher.
When did he pass away?
Last August.
Was it? Well, it's lovely to do something like this, to celebrate his work.
It's very, very impressive.
Yeah.
His books, she saw his book before everything.
Right.
And she said she'd got to do it.
Yeah.
It cannot have been easy.
No.
To make that decision.
No.
It is worth it.
Yeah. I know. We hosted an oil painter in South Africa, Rhino Short. Rhino Short was his name, and he unfortunately passed away with COVID, which was unfortunate. But yeah, it's tough times.
My husband's an author, and of course he's know him very well, but doesn't know Daniel Rosen, who had COVID very badly.
Yeah.
It's a shell of a man, it's like.
Thank you very much. Take care. Now, I don't think we've been round this way before, so they seem fun, don't they? I'm assuming you are Kate.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm John. I'm with Shopkeep Arty. We host artists all over the world to do little demos and things like that. And I'm just giving some people a little tour, live tour of Patchings. And we might be doing something in September as well. But I'm fascinated by looking at your planning.
I kind
or
of
did you just
feel
go with it?
inspired and kind of go with the flow. Or
Yeah.
I work on the theme of work, as a kind of scheme. So,
Yeah.
for example, I did painting down there with some flowers, and then so I got with a different view.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, I'll do this one overlooking a village green. So it kind of progresses.
Okay.
And kind of, it's organic, I'd say.
Yeah, okay. Is that St. Michael's Mount there?
It is, yes.
There we go.
Yes, lots of Cornwall.
Oh, yeah. Is that where you're from?
Well, no, it isn't. I've got relatives there. So
Okay,
we go
okay.
Go there a lot. And things there.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yes.
Well, it'd be lovely if we could potentially have a chat about hosting you on one session.
Yes.
Have you done any online demos or anything?
Yes, I have.
Brilliant,
Yes.
brilliant. Well, it'd be lovely to introduce you to our audience at some point.
Sounds fun.
Have you got a card or anything like that?
There you go.
Thank you very much, and I'll be in touch.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Right, that's brilliant. But thanks for letting me know. I'll be down as soon as I can. Brilliant. Thanks very much.
That's nice.
Saturday.
Okay, well, the clouds are moving in. Hopefully you've enjoyed it today. It's been lovely to take you on this little guided tour. I may have to do a few more of these. Well, I don't know. Did you enjoy it? If you say no, then I might not do any more. Yeah, no, I think it's quite a nice way for you, so you don't have to book a plane flight. You can come and join me in some different art. So maybe we can do an open Zoom on the next one and see what that's like. But yeah, no, I think it's been a lovely day. People are starting to head out now, actually. So, and I'm going to head back down home now. I've been up in Scotland. I've been doing a lot of driving this last few days. So it's going to be nice to get back home and see everybody down there tonight. And then tomorrow, hosting Barry Herniman. So I think Hazel, who was supposed to be hosting that, has unfortunately got COVID. So I'm stepping in to host Barry tomorrow. Had a few messages. Carl said, "Thank you, John. Most enjoyable." Thank you, Carl. Latha, thank you so much, John. It's my first time seeing an art fair there. So great. I hope you enjoyed it. It's fascinating, isn't it? All the different types of stalls, all the different demos, the materials you can really get. And obviously, you know that all the people here at this event are really into art just as much as you are. So it's quite nice to have a chat with people and really meet up. And when you sat down in the demos next to people, you can make some really nice lifelong friends as well. So brilliant. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. Let me just get rid of those posts. Alison said, "Thanks so much, John. It was lovely to see it, and it's quite a long drive from Devon on a hot day. It sure is." So I'm glad I was able to help there. And as I said, in September, we're going to be doing a special thing with Search Press and with Patchings, and we're going to be doing live demos with people here, but also streaming people in. So you'll be able to take part in the demos, a live demo. So it's mixing virtual and live all in one thing. We don't quite know exactly how it's going to work yet. It may involve books, paintings, and things like that as well. But it's going to be really great fun. Bit chaotic, but just leave the chaos to me. You can enjoy it from the comfort of your home. Brilliant. Until next time, thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.